So yeah, it's Saturday. Saturday. It's been it's been a crazy week for me. I have had a busy week, and I didn't know that I would be able to do this video. So pardon me if I goof up, if I mess up somewhere, but there's too much news to cover, and yeah, I mean, let's get started. So, right from the very first news, which is making big rounds of news everywhere, from Twitter to all the crypto news websites, it is the Bitcoin conference in Miami, which is on Friday, the 4th of June, to Saturday, the 5th of June, which is today. So, yes, this is only Bitcoin conference, not cryptocurrency conference. So, people are supposed to talk only about Bitcoin, but of course so I mean, of course, the mayor of Miami is this guy who's very, very big proponent of Bitcoin, and he has been always an openly vocal person who's been like, I want to make Miami the hub for blockchain and cryptocurrency exchanges and crypto industry, and so I think this is a great move. And the speakers, the list of speakers, the list of all the people who are going to be present is huge. I'm going to leave the link to the website, direct website, so you can have a look at it. From politicians to CEOs to philanthropists to entrepreneurs to sports people, people from every kind of industry and background are there. And of course, the common thread that binds them all is Bitcoin. So there's a lot of coverage all over the internet on this particular conference, the Bitcoin conference, and yeah, I will not bore you with more details, but very interesting things happening, a lot of great stuff coming out of it, and I hope this kind of makes Miami the hub for, at least in US, crypto innovation, crypto and Bitcoin, kind of the place to be for it. So let's see. We will know more about it once the conference gets over, and we'll have more written stuff about analyzing the conference or what went good, what went wrong, blah blah blah. So all of that would be online, and I'll not bore you with that stuff. But that's one big news which is all over the internet right now. The second big news is, like, the memes in the crypto industry are this to the moon, that to the moon, Doge to the moon, ETH to the moon, Bitcoin to the moon. So now they are actually going to the moon. I mean, not that I wanted to talk about Elon, because everyone is, and none of my video gets done with it, but SpaceX is doing that. So SpaceX is gonna take Ethereum nodes to International Space Station, and I mean, of course, it's not just Ethereum, it's Bitcoin, which would go to the moon as well later on in this year, but Ethereum would be the first one to, it looks like that's what's going to happen, that Ethereum would be the first one. So yeah, I mean, to the moon, literally, quite literally. Let's see. I mean, I don't know if there is a practical use of it, or it's just for publicity, like it's a publicity stunt. But yeah, I mean, companies are sending crypto nodes to the moon, supposedly making statements like, oh, it's going to be a great place for crypto mining or whatever, a space as a service business where you do crypto blockchain stuff high up there. So they're not very clear, but I kind of feel it's just a publicity stunt so far, and let's see how much it materializes, what happens. But yeah, just the news. I thought I should cover it. Also, more news. When you think of crypto industry, when you think of bigger players which are not just Bitcoin, but Ethereum, So ETH or Solana or Cardano, it's just because they are not just a coin. They're much bigger. So they are, their ecosystem. There's stuff on which other things can be based. So you can build up on that, right? So yeah, Solana is dubbed as potential Ethereum killer because just like Ethereum, Ethereum is a protocol, right? Not just a coin. So a lot of stuff is built upon Ethereum. Solana is taking the same route, and it has ambitious plans to scale up and become the go-to home for decentralized applications, or dApps as they're known as. So they've got a lot of funding, which is 450 million. They're between 300 million to 450 million, and that should help them achieve that goal. So that's another news. I mean, they have ambitious plans up to 450 million to challenge Ethereum. They're raising. So yeah, I mean, anything that makes the industry go ahead, forge ahead, great news. More competition, more options for people. Great. And now, of course, we have news from Russia. It's funny how much I have Russian friends and how I keep saying that India and Russia are very much similar in all the not so good things. So again, Russian central bank, just like Indian central bank RBI, which we will come to later on in the India part of news. Russian central bank is preventing Bitcoin investment in Russia, just like RBI is in India. So the Russian central bank's firm opposition to cryptocurrency stands in the way of crypto investments. That's being said by two of the biggest banks, CEO of other banks in Russia. I don't know. I mean, I don't know how countries would get away with this, but let's hope. Because again, it's a huge country and there is a huge potential. Russians are really great at IT as well. So, I mean, they're a hub, Russia, Ukraine. So, I mean, cryptocurrency and the blockchain industry should be legalized and should be allowed to flourish around the world. Countries who are blocking it might be later on feeling left out, or might be feeling that they made a bad decision. And I just hope that stance changes. Okay, so that's another news from Russia. And now we can go to Philippines. So they have, that's what I always thought could happen in India. And I might be wrong, but if Indian wallet companies, which are we have the big one called Paytm, which is getting ready for its IPO, and it could be, they are already doing a lot of business. They're into investments, they're into financial products and all of that. So if these guys, just like PayPal did, if these guys integrate crypto services with them, so you can buy and sell crypto with the wallets, it would be so amazing. So that's what actually a major Filipino e-wallet, Gcash, is doing, because they're adding crypto trading. It says in the article here that almost 40% of Filipinos use this wallet, which is a huge number. 40% of the country's population using this. So yes, they are, and we saw what PayPal achieved with rolling out crypto services to its wallet. The user base soared. The amount of crypto transactions happening via PayPal is crazy. So I don't see why any wallet should be. In fact, it's the firm's potential move, it says here, on the cryptocurrency industry follows significant growth on the platform, in which Gcash user base spiking over 20% from 33 million to 40 million customers in February. So in February, which is almost 4 months ago, they already have 40 million customers. That could be a huge potential to tap into. It's just crazy. That's what Indian wallets should do as well, but yeah, maybe they know it better. I am just a normal guy. So yeah, more news. This is a wonderful article because it helps get all the Chinese news, everything happening in China regarding crypto and the blockchain industry together. So this is one article which goes 4 or 5 Chinese news. So that is great. I can just, it's all condensed together. Number one, after last week's China's crackdown on the crypto miners, now they are possibly taking a soft stance and trying to get at least the green miners or the legal miners. There's a lot of illegal Bitcoin mining or cryptocurrency mining happening in China, so they might give the green miners a pass, so that the green miners, like the official legal whatever, I don't know if they might come up with a like you have to get a certificate or some permission or some kind of regulatory thing, so you're a legitimate legal miner. So I think that's what's happening. I mean, the machine manufacturers, the energy company, they all had a meeting kind of thing and they discussed about it. So let's see. I really hope that a good news comes out where mining is allowed in China again. This is in Sichuan, yeah, coal powered regions like Inner Mongolia and places like that. Uniswap, which is again a great place for swapping cryptocurrencies. It made news on June 2, CCTV 13, that's national television channel, but not so good way of making news. It reported on virtual currency fraud in their newsroom segment, and they introduced now like how a virtual currency TRTC was listed on Uniswap before having all the liquidity removed. And so it wasn't a great way to make it to the news, but at least they were in the news. So yeah, more people know about it. So, and of course, Binance co-founder CZ distanced himself from Binance Smart Chain, saying that he had no control over the chain, and it was all responsible for they were not responsible for creation of it, and it's just a community powered thing. Because of course, there's some irregularities possibly going on there, and nobody would like to be like associated with stuff which is shady, dodgy. Also, so China hasn't backed down on cryptocurrency stance. They're still harsh regulatory environment, just like India is and other countries, Russia. But the blockchain technician standards were released from the Ministry of Human Resources and Social Security and the Ministry of Industry and Information Technology. So the standards detailed what skills and core competencies are required to work in the industry. So this is about blockchain, not Bitcoin. So, it's just, at least people can work in the industry because the industry is very remote friendly and you can be anywhere in the world. So at least, China is taking that stance that you can work in the industry but cannot be miners. So yeah, they've released some resources, some standards. And of course, they have their own CBDC, central bank digital currency. I got it right this time. Yeah. So they have done an airdrop where they're giving 6.2 million again to spend to people. I really like how China is pushing their CBDC and making sure that everyone gets on the board with their CBDC. But let's see, time will tell where we go on that. Also, I always keep mentioning, so the next news is that I always keep mentioning crypto industry needs a lot of innovation. And of course, the biggest companies can do that. So Coinbase, Binance, whatever the biggest exchanges. So Coinbase just linked its Visa debit card with Apple Pay and Google Pay. Great. You don't even have to carry that Visa debit card to spend your crypto or your, you can just add it to Apple Pay, Google Pay, and go out and spend it. Great thing. This is what we need. The more of this, and the crypto industry should do good. It just makes it more acceptable, more accessible, and it's great for customers, great for crypto industry. Everyone benefits from them. Again, we have more news from UK. Not so good news. I worked with a UK-based cryptocurrency exchange as a digital marketing manager, so I knew the landscape a little bit more than any other country around the world. There were at least 140 something crypto exchanges in the UK which had applied for licenses. The document, I still have the document and it's available on the FCA website, who were given temporary license considering COVID situations, and they had to all apply for licenses. But I think there are very strict AML laws, anti-money laundering, in the United Kingdom, and that has appeared to be the reason why there's a major pullback from all the companies. So they can't comply with that, and a significantly high number of businesses are not meeting the required standards under AML regulations, and this has resulted in an unprecedented number of businesses withdrawing their applications, which is, according to a report in The Guardian, 51 companies have so far failed to meet the FCS AML standards and may be forced to cease operations in the country. That is not so good news. I mean, if these companies have a huge number of client base, they will all be affected. And I hope the article has listed them, like what companies, so people can potentially make moves, change the companies, whatever, move out of them. And yeah, not so good news, but I think, let's see. I mean, I hope, I mean, UK is a big market, and I hope that, good things come out of this. The anti-money AML laws, anti-money laundering laws are important for the crypto industry. And even if it means 51 companies dying out, I really hope that at the end result of this is good. So that's pretty much the world news. I mean, a lot of it already, 15 minutes more just covering this news. So let's quickly jump to India news. Of course, the big news coming from RBI is they released a circular stating that their 2018 circular is no longer valid, and banks should stop using it as an excuse to block crypto transactions, which is great. I mean, awesome. RBI, kudos to you. But then it's a half-hearted measure, because they say in that circular, which is the recent circular, which is, I have the official link right here, linked in the description and right here in front of me. I'm looking at it. It's just a half-hearted measure, because what they say is we still have major concerns over crypto transactions and all this stuff. So yeah, we are making sure that, yeah, you should not block the transactions, but we still have major concerns. So, I mean, they put it on it's like passing the blame to like, oh, banks, you should do your, due diligence before you allow the transactions, do KYC, AML, blah, 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 all this CPT, combining of financing of terrorism and FEMA, and do whatever, blah, 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 but do all of that, prevention of, Money Laundering Act, PMLA. So do all of that, and then let the customers go ahead and do transactions. But at least it's a good news. And the consequence of this is, with this new, the date of this is, of course, 22nd, 21, it says 22nd, 14, 1, 21. Okay, I am assuming, yes, it was 22nd, 22nd. So 22nd of last month? No. I mean, it is just, recent, after my last video. So not that I have not covered it in the last video, it just happened. So it's just last week sometime, Oh yes, it is there. May 31st, 2021. That's the circular date. So after my last video. So good news. That just means that, now the banks cannot stop you from, giving you any excuse that, oh, it's banned by RBI. No, it is not. I mean, they've made themselves clear. So you cannot block transactions, and you cannot tell your customers that, hey, if you make transactions with our credit card or our bank account, we'll block it. No, you can't do that. And HDFC Bank has already retracted crypto warning after RBI's May 31st circular, which means they have sent out an email saying, hey, we are sorry, blah, 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 just ignore the last. Just ignore the last. So it says, kindly refer to the email dated May 28 with the subject caution advice for dealing in cryptocurrency. We wish to update you that in light of advisory issued by RBI, blah, 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 on 31st of May of customer due diligence, blah, 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 the 28th email is just ignore our communication. So 28th of, crazy people. But at least that was quick. That was wonderful from HDFC. And I hope they just allow crypto transactions and, let customers do it and not block any longer now. Also, I mean, the crypto industry is moving fast in making themselves legitimate. So they are drawing up legitimacy plan. They have, formed a coalition together. They're already talking to the Internet and Mobile Association of India, IAMAI, and all the companies which work in the crypto exchanges, WazirX, CoinDCX, CoinSwitch, they've all come together and making sure that they get regulatory stuff done so they don't have an issue. I mean, which is good. I think this should be the first priority, and they should really hurry up on this. Yeah, and I think this is the last news from India. Yeah, pretty much. So ZepPay appointed Avinash Shekhar as its co-CEO. Now, Avinash has been instrumental in getting ZepPay back 2020 back into, because ZepPay had been there, then they got lost, and they came back after 2020 after the circular from from the Supreme Court, where the RBI circular was quashed. So this guy, who is now Avinash Shekhar, he's been instrumental in getting ZepPay back on track in 2020. So I think he would make. I mean, this is good news for ZepPay that they have a wonderful guy who knows how to get stuff done. And I think, yeah, pretty much that's it. That's it for the news. Again, I really wanted to make it shorter, but there's too much news to cover. So thank you for staying till the end. I really appreciate it. And if you've not subscribed yet, please do. If you like the video, if you like that what I did on getting up Saturday early morning for you to do this after a very crazy week, I would really appreciate if you share it with people who are interested in crypto news, who are kind of anyway into crypto ecosystem. And of course, we will see each other next week, but I am making sure that I have more content coming onto the channel. So please subscribe. Look out for different content rather than just crypto. And yeah, as always, thank you very much. Have a wonderful weekend. And whenever you're watching this video, if it's a weekday, get back to work. But yeah, talk to you soon. Thank you.